And endometriosis is not a skin condition.
What is it, like a liver disease or something?
No, I think it has to do. It's in the vaginal canal, dude. Come on, okay, cut that shit.
You're talking about vaginal canals. I'm just trying to talk about video games. Maybe you're the sicko.
Dumb,
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 dumb, dumb, dumb.
decisions.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to an excellent conversation on video games. Today, we're talking about the newly released xDefiant, I believe. That's the game, or just Defiant with a little X next to it. I don't even know what to call this game, gents. What is this game? It's like a Call of Duty, Overwatch kind of weird thing with like shooting like guns, but you have powers. That's the game. That's it. That's xDefiant.
Yeah, xDefiant. I call it Defiant. That's easy enough. xDefiant. I don't know. It doesn't roll off the tongue the way it should. It's the COD killer, dude. That's what matters.
xDefiant was just released for us commoners on the PlayStation 5. We've been playing it roughly for a week. I know you guys have played a significant amount. I know I kind of just joined up and played for like maybe the last 3 days, give or take. And we've had several matches. We've had several experiences. What do you guys think overall? What do you like it? Do you hate it?
I give it a 6.5 out of a 10 shooter. It's got good bones. I think it needs a little tweaking here and there. I'm partial to Ubisoft games, as horrible as a studio as they've become with their greed and their microtransactions and their BS. But I am a Ubisoft fan for most of their games, so it is kind of cool to see a lot of different characters from their games all meeting up in one game. That's pretty neat. I do think the weapons need a little bit of tuning. I think the abilities need a little bit of tuning, but overall, I think it's good bones. If this game survives the next couple of years, I think it could be fleshed out into something real nice.
I think it's a 10 out of 10 game. Perfect microtransactions, reasonably costed. It's got great sniping. That's all that really matters. And
Okay, wait. Hold on. Let's talk about this for a second.
best map design.
Shut up. Enough's enough. Okay. I know you're actually being serious on some of those.
I'm being serious about the maps. Let's talk about the maps.
Okay. You're telling me
The maps are
you're
good.
looking me in the eyes right now, and you're saying that xDefiant has good maps. You enjoy these maps.
Yeah, I do. I say that.
Why, dude? I don't think so. They're shit.
What's the map? We just played a game on Call of Duty. What's the map we just played?
I don't know. It's some mansion house.
Shithole. That's what it should be called. Okay. That map is garbage because it's a house in the middle of nowhere, and you can fucking just camp any corner you want and see a little angle and like, oh, look, I got a little angle at a door here and a little angle at a door here. It's the same problem that you hate with xDefiant and all the maps. There's these little angles here and there that you just get shot from. Same map, same thing.
Can I talk to you?
Yeah.
Could I be real with you? Can we have a nice adult conversation?
You agree?
No, not at all. I'm going to tell you why. The reason why I don't like the maps in that game is because the maps aren't intuitive to the type of gameplay that game provides. I think because its gameplay is so stagnant and jippy, I don't think the maps make sense. I think the maps have way too many openings. There's far too many ways for people to just shoot you. I guess there's zero cover.
Let's narrow this down real quick. Domination. Let's talk about that game mode in both games, because that we can equate pretty easily. I guess we could do kill confirm too, but let's say domination. So, and specifically in xDefiant, the map that you hated the most was the one with that saloon, right?
Yeah.
Had like a Western feel. It was like a movie stage, actually.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of set up like a movie studio.
Mm-hmm.
So that has like this one point in the center, like basically in the center of town. And then two other points that are kind of pretty far off from each other. What is it? Do you remember that map? Like, what is it about that's not situated right, like with the objectives?
I like that map.
That's the one you said you hated.
I'm thinking about it, and I'm looking at it right now. It's damn it, you know. I guess you're right. I guess you're right. The but all right, so I'll give you that. Whatever. The maps are fine. It's the game. It's just the gameplay. The gameplay shit. I do not like it. I don't like it. The time to kill's crazy. The time to kill's crazy. It doesn't make sense.
I'll give you that. There's two main issues with the gameplay mechanics right now, and like you said, one of them's the time to kill. That's being evaluated. The other one that's probably affecting the time to kill more than you know is the network. Like their netcode is not working really well right now. So it's better than it was a few days ago, but there's kind of this cheeky thing that people can do where you can like spam jump. And if you keep spamming jump, it overloads the network. Basically, this is my like baseline level understanding, but it overloads the network. And then when people try to shoot you, like your pings don't line up or something, and they end up missing you. So there's a lot of weird cheeky shit like that happening, and they're trying to fix that and eliminate that. So that's a netcode error, and I think that, in my opinion, that's like no online game is ready for it to be successful for some reason. Like Helldivers had a similar issue when it came out, you know?
Just thinking about all these first-person games that we've all played. We've all played a considerable amount of first-person shooters. And in my opinion, this is like at the bottom of the list in terms of just raw gameplay. It just doesn't sustain my dopamine receptors whatsoever. Although I like the core components. I like the passive abilities that all these characters have. I think they're very interesting. I like how there's two per faction. There's two renditions of whatever, like, yeah, for example, like the cleaners, you either get the Molotov cocktail or that you can throw on the ground and light ablaze like an area of an effect attack, and then you have the drone that sends out this like spew of napalm in a vertical line. I think that's kick ass. That's awesome. But the core gameplay is too blocky. It's just stagnant when you compare it to a Call of Duty, when you compare it to an Apex Legends. When unfortunately for modern day shooters, at some point you have to compare them to the competition. It's good to understand why other games are better than others. And Call of Duty and Apex, just off the top of my head, are two that are, granted, they're new. Granted, xDefiant is new. But it's by Ubisoft, and it's not like they're not short of cash.
So I think the thing you're talking about, the passives are cool, and I think the passives generally are fairly well balanced. I think the biggest issue is this game doesn't quite have an identity. It almost is a hero shooter. And by hero shooter, I mean, I'm referring to games like Apex and Overwatch, where you pick a character and that character has a identity, and their identity is their tactical and their passive and their ultimate. You know, this game sort of has that, in which the teams, like the different factions, have these identities, but it doesn't offer the same uniqueness as like another hero shooter would.
But it could. That's the thing. It has potential. Not to beat the dead horse that is Apex, because it's not like it's the best game ever. But games like Apex, or even Titanfall before it, I think they set a standard. Even Call of Duty, when it first came out, to what Call of Duty is now, it's a completely different game. I think they've understood that in order for them to survive, they had to adapt and make it a quicker-witted combat scenario for you as the first-person shooter. And I think this game just needs if it would just get that type of upgrade where your movement, just your core movement, like take aside all the shooting for a second, just your character walking should feel smooth. That gives the game so much more depth. It gives it life. The game, it feels like I'm playing an old PC game, bro.
We talked about something similar with Helldivers. Do you remember when Helldivers first came out? Like, going over terrain was horrendous. You would get caught on a bush and everywhere you would go. But we fought through that because, the game was so unique and the fun that came from it was so fun.
Don't compare Helldivers to xDefiant, okay?
I'm doing it for the same reason as here. I think the reason that it's not tolerable is because you have something else to play. You're not going to get another Helldivers experience.
Yeah, and the gameplay is very similar to other games like Overwatch and these objective-based first-person shooters.
Exactly. So we kind of touched on the factions a little bit, and the cool thing about the factions is that they are all from other Ubisoft games, right? Okay, so there's 4 factions. There's the Cleaners, which are from the Division, and they're kind of like your firefighters. I don't really get it, but they go around and burn shit, and they have incendiary rounds. You have the Libertad, which is from Far Cry 6. They're kind of like your medic faction. They have a grenade that heals, and then they have this really cool like oxygen tank that you throw on the ground, and it over heals people who are standing in it, and like constantly pumps out a heal. It's actually really cool. There's Echelon, which they have a ghillie suit where they go invisible, which is okay, but then they have an intel suit that's literally just a UAV that wall hacks. It's stupid. And then there's DeadSec, which they're from Watch Dogs 2. Oh, by the way, the Echelon is Splinter Cell, but DeadSec is the Watch Dogs 2, and they have like one of them is Hijack, where you can basically stop somebody from using abilities. So that's like if you play Overwatch, it's Sombra from Overwatch's ability, kind of. And then they have a spider that kind of attacks you. Phantoms is Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon. And they have a weird set of abilities where they're just kind of like tanks. Like they have shields that they can throw up.
They're pretty good too. They last a while. And you can you shoot through them?
Yeah, it works like a Rampart shield, in which you can shoot through it from the direction it was placed. So you can shoot out of it, but they can't shoot into it. And it was dominating the meta. This is one thing that I think is interesting. It was dominating the meta for a while, and people didn't know what to do about it. But there's counterplay to it, and the counterplay is to throw an EMP grenade. If you throw an EMP grenade on those things, they shut off immediately. That's cool. I think the fact that there's this counterplay is cool, because then I can set up a sniper class, like just think in theory, I can set up a sniper class that is not meant to take on shields. Like I have a frag, and then it's like, oh fuck, I'm up against this guy, he's a phantom, he keeps doing the shield over and over, I can't get through to him. Okay, let me do some counterplay and swap up to something else, you know? So I think the more counterplay that they add to the game, that could make it interesting.
No, I agree with that, and that's why this game it's like a tragedy almost, because I really like the direction they're taking it, and I think there's so many different things that can be done with it.
Do you think it's too soon? Is that why? Like the game came out too soon?
Yeah, I guess so. It almost feels rushed. It just feels like, okay, we got it to this level. Let's just get it out there. Just get it out there. Get people going. You know, it's playable. I understand. I just hope there's some massive updates to it. I hope they don't just go the cosmetic route and like focusing their team on certain aspects of game development that don't need anything at the moment. I think you're in a very critical phase where I'm no professional and I'm no game developer, but I would have a reality check and, you know, obviously based off of reactions like this, hopefully just tweak a thing or two. This is a game that I'm going to put to bed and probably re-download in like a year.
Right. Okay. That's fair. That's what I would expect with an early access release too, you know? Try it out, play it. If it's fun, keep going.
I don't hate it. I think it's got potential. Hell, I kind of like it. But I'd probably give it a solid year because all this game made me want to do was go back to playing Call of Duty, which I did, and now I'm really enjoying Call of Duty.
Here's the difference, though. One of those experiences was free.
That's true. You can't argue that.
And that there's definitely some credit to add to the fact that it's a free game.
That's true. Cannot and that kind of nips anything I'm saying in the bud, because in the end, you're right. Listen, somebody created this game with blood, sweat, and tears, released it to you, and you're getting to play it. What the fuck are you complaining about? So I give that to them. I think that's pretty cool.
So now, comparing microtransactions, like dollar value aside, we always bitch about Call of Duty has egregious
$20
microtransactions.
$20 a character.
Yeah, it's wild. But this game do you think it's justified? Like the free-to-play
No,
model, it's
man,
more justified. You still hate
it's an
them.
ugly game too. I don't even like looking at it.
Free to play, yeah, maybe a little bit more because it's, free to play, but still, $15 or $20 for a skin is just, it's just not the move.
Okay, so let's talk about the guns. One thing you said to me when we talked last time was that the guns feel, you play the game different, or what did you say? You play the game different depending on the gun you use?
Oh yeah, so I started with the assault class, which is just your standard assault rifle, which I don't even remember the name of it. Some M4, I have no idea. Just your generic starting assault class, and maybe it was skill based because I'm an idiot. But it just, the gun just I felt like I had a pellet gun, bro. It just felt like I had a pellet gun, and I definitely shoot. And I'm not an idiot. I'm not constantly trying to shoot people in the sternum or like the lower fucking cock. I'm trying to get headshots, and it's not like I'm not hitting it, but I get melted. I just get melted, or at least I did when I was using the assault class. That was happening primarily because I was using the assault class. I felt like I was just getting smoked for a long period of time where 90% of players would just melt me in seconds. But I'm shooting at them and they're just made of marshmallows, and I'm shooting fairy dust. Nothing happened. Then I switched to the LMG class, and things kind of changed. I started getting kill streaks. I don't know what it was, but I started depleting their health more rapidly than when I was using the assault class. There's just a clear difference. And then I tried the submachine gun class, and the submachine gun class, definitely up close, it shreds. But in this game, I feel like I wasn't even getting that chance. I feel like I was trying to do shotgun and SMG, and maybe again skill thing. But I felt like I had more opportunities to die playing the SMG class and the shotgun class, simply because by the time I'm getting to people, they've melted me entirely from existing.
Yeah. No, I can definitely feel that sentiment. The guns are not really all that balanced. I will say I don't like LMGs typically, but in this game they are pretty fun. But for me, like, I'm always nostalgic about Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, original quick scoping with the intervention.
Even had a cool name. What a name,
dude! That was peak. You were a loser if you used the 50 cal.
Yeah, you were,
because it was the
semi-auto. We bully kids in school for using 50 cals. We would have beef.
Yeah.
We would do some.
I went to a
bullying.
different school and we did the same thing. That's funny.
Yeah, dude.
But that was just like peak Call of Duty for me. And this game, that's the one thing I like, is, say what you want, snipers are super imbalanced right now, but they feel fucking great.
Yeah, because you actually, the bullet does something.
Like you react to people and you kill them, and it's like, quick scoping's not that easy in this game, but you can kind of drag scope across people, and it's just so satisfying.
Oh, dude.
And when I first started using it, I was dying frequently.
Can you imagine if that was just tightened up just a little bit? I think the sniper class would be a joy.
Do you know what I appreciate too? Is the default sniper class in most shooters is a like reconnaissance, sit back. It's your traditional sniper. Sit back, camp a little bit, get some sniper shots off. In xDefiant, it's set up as a quickscoper.
Interesting.
Yeah. I mean, that's fan letter right there. I love that.
Well, then fucking fix the rest of your game then. What the hell?
I think they will. It's a very new game.
What do you? Okay, so what would be your? You said a 6.5. You gave it a 6.5 at the beginning of this conversation.
I did. I think it needs just some tweaking here and there. They need to fix their issues with the network connectivity and the glitches and the bugs and the weapons. And I think if it's always going to have 1 or 0.5 or even 1.5 missing from the score, as long as these microtransactions stay as expensive as they are. But yeah, I think once they fix a lot of those issues, and they add a couple more,
like with the cost of the microtransactions.
Yeah, well, I don't know if they're going to fix that. That's going to stay. That's going to keep the game under a 9, I think. But if they fix all the other issues vis-a-vis the connectivity and the glitches and the jumping and the weapon tuning, and add a few more, add kill streaks, add what's it called, final kill cam, like add, and again, all these things I'm just saying that are the things that I like off of like a Call of Duty shooter. But just polish up the game a little more, and I think this game could easily be around the 8.5.
I can support that. I don't think the game's 10 out of 10. I was joking earlier. I think the sniping's a 10 out of 10. I also think the sniping should be nerfed.
What do you give it though?
I'm not going to consider the microtransactions, but I think like gameplay wise, is it fun? Do I enjoy playing it? I'll give it like an 8.
You give it a solid 8?
Yeah, I think there's things that I like the game. I like what it's intended, but I don't think that it's there yet, and that's unfortunate. But I'm excited to come back to this game in 6 months or so, once the next wave comes out or whatever.
I give it a 6.9 because I want to be higher than Pharaoh.
Bazinga!
Now you gave it the lowest score.
I'm telling you, man, all these studios going live service and season passes and whatever all this bullshit is, it's ruining all of their games. It's what happened with Suicide Squad and Rocksteady. It's people don't like Rocksteady anymore. Pretty much, they've given up faith in Rocksteady.
Games aren't about fun anymore.
Yeah, no, it's just about making money for the studios and keeping you playing as long as possible.
All right, thank you everybody for joining us today and making some dumb decisions. We will be back next week with a game showcase by Pharaoh himself of the one and only No Man's Sky.
Hello and welcome to Dumb Decisions. Dumb decisions.
Dumb decisions.
Boy, am I making a lot of dumb decisions. Dumb. Ooh, decision. Dumb. Stupid ass moronic dumb. Decisions.